If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please remember to hit that like button and of course subscribe for more content. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review, and we are now going to start working our way through the mid-range players. We are going to do the odd high-rated player here or there, but mid-range players like Wilfred Ndidi, I didn't really think that he'd be as expensive as he is, but picked him up, first owner untradeable, had a little look to see what he was worth on the market, because you just do, even though you know you can't sell them, you just do to see whether it's a good pull or not. And he's going for around 30k, which I suppose at the time I thought, wow, that's actually really surprising. But the more you think about it, the more you look at his stats, and at this stage of the game, that's actually probably a fair price point. Over time, he will drop, of course, and you do have to be aware of that. But I thought he would go well in a decent little Premier League team. So I'll show you the team in just a second. But he has 3-star skills, which is pretty unimportant for a CDM. 4-star weak foot, which is really nice. High defensive work rate, which you'd expect. Some really nice defensive stats. 85 slide tackle, 89 stand tackle, 87 defensive awareness. And you'll see plenty of evidence of this. 90 interceptions. Really, really nice defensively. 87 reactions, 80 composure, good stamina, good jumping as well for winning balls from goal kicks and such. And he wins his fair share. 87 aggression is really nice. What surprised me a little bit about him, though, is he's only got 78 strength. Not ideal for a CDM that is 6 foot tall with great defensive stats. You'd kind of expect him to be a little bit stronger than he is. The Shadow Chem style is not going to provide us with any extra strength. So we'll talk about chem styles at the end, but if you really want to increase that strength, the Anchor chem style might actually be a better option for you. I've seen a few people using Wilfred Ndidi as a centre-back, and I thought, well, okay, fair enough, but the more I think about it, on 7 chem, he actually wouldn't be a bad centre-back at all. If you gave him an Anchor, for example, he's got 75 acceleration, 77 sprint speed. He's then got 99 stand tackle, 95 interceptions, 81 heading, 99 jumping, and 88 strength with 92 aggression. That makes him a 91 rated centre-back. Arguably one of the better centre-backs in the game, especially for the price. 30,000 coins for this guy. If you want to use him at CDM, feel free, obviously. But if you want to use him as a centre-back, you more than have my blessing. That is, unreal stats. Now, with regards to the team, of course, I don't really need him at centre-back because we have Tomori, who is one of my favourite players, not just as in that position, but in the game right now. My favourite player in the game, however, is the guy stood next to him, Thiago Silva. I didn't think I'd ever say that about a defender or about Thiago Silva himself, but he is by far the best defender I've used this FIFA. He is so good, he's everywhere. And I know a lot of people will say that he's not quick enough or whatever, but I've not had a single issue, well, maybe one or two issues with his pace. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, that he's not quick enough, and it kind of translates to Wilfred Ndidi here. You know, a lot of people say, well, he's not really fast enough. You don't need players to be particularly fast, so long as you're aware of what's going on around you. Yeah, okay, now and again, you're going to get caught because of pace. Like that there. He's caught because we've managed to get him behind and we've broken the back line with a little bit of pace. But then, if you're defensively aware and you're good at defending, pace isn't really going to be that much of a problem. So long as you know how to defend and you can defend relatively well, you won't get caught in behind. You know, I'm not saying play one drop back because that's going to invite too much pressure. I think we played... This is obviously co-op gameplay. I don't even think there's any individual gameplay here. Been playing a lot of co-op lately, but this is Division 2 gameplay as well, by the way. So it is like, you know, we are playing against top competitive players in a sense, so, you know, as far as rivals go. The real test, of course, is going to be foot champs on the weekend. Not looking forward to that at all. But I don't think pace is a problem. You know, playing against players with really fast players, I guess, and players who know how to play the game. That's why we're in, obviously, a higher division. So, yeah, it's a case of people will try and say, oh, you need this player, that player because of pace, and he's too slow, this guy's too slow. Wilfred Ndidi, amongst others, are just in that category of perfectly usable. Absolutely nothing wrong with him at all. His positioning, by the way, is nothing short of sensational. He is always in the right place at the right time. And I've talked about it with Fred, reviewed him, of course, and I'll mention it probably a few other times before we finish talking about well, I'll mention it a few other times in other reviews, and you would have heard me talk about it a lot. And it's one of those unsung hero cards whereby he will go and do a job for you, like there. You don't often look at which player makes that block. You know, that could have gone in for all I know, and it probably would have gone in, but that block from Wilfred Ndidi is very, very important. But you don't often look to see what player has made that particular block. You're just more focused on what players scoring goals, what players getting assists, and how fun they are to use. Wilfred Ndidi is one of those who will do an excellent job for you. I mean, he started that move out from the back, and all of a sudden we're through on goal. And that is the type of player that he is. Nice big block there. Moves back in. You don't know who's done it. You've not paying attention. You're more focused on getting the ball with St. Maximin here, going forward and putting the ball into the penalty area. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking to see who is making challenges and saving you goals. And that's what Wilfred Ndidi does. Very, very important player. There definitely are a couple of weaknesses here or there, and it kind of goes hand in hand with this position. I think only the likes of N'Golo Kante is going to be able to escape this type of complaint, and that's agility, balance, and a little bit of like the dribbling and ball control. That is a finish and a half, by the way. 80 shot power, 50, that's right, 50 finishing, and he's just launched that top bins. Doesn't do it very often, don't get me wrong, but every now and again. He actually had, I can't remember what game it was. It was a game we ended up losing 3-2. He had a one-on-one with a goalkeeper, and he literally kicked it straight at the keeper. I was absolutely devastated because that would have drawn us level. Then we had a penalty in the 90th, and then I ended up missing it as well. Absolute travesty. This card is fantastic, and the price point is perfect, I would say. Almost perfect. And why have I got him 87 value for coins? Reason being is I'm very wary of the drop-off, and I've mentioned it before with other players. Players who are like this, 84 rated, in a couple of weeks, month's time, whatever it may be, will be 10k, will be even less than that. You know, there'll be just a value of an 84, and you have to be wary of the drop-off. Right now, 30k is bang on for what you can expect. He would make a fantastic centre-back. He makes a very good CDM, obviously, but just be wary that once he drops off, you are going to lose 25k. Now, the one thing I was mentioning, I don't even know if I got round to it, was agility. His mobility is somewhat problematic. He just doesn't feel that agile and that quick and manoeuvrable on the ball, which makes perfect sense. Of course it does. And that's the same with the ball control, the dribbling, acceleration, agility, all sort of falls under one category. Just doesn't feel fluid. Like I said, Kante doesn't really suffer from that problem. He's small enough and agile enough to be able to get away with it, but just be aware of that. All in all, though, brilliant card. Anchor to increase the strength, Shadow if you want him a little bit quicker, but overall, fantastic. Would highly recommend. Let me know what you think of Wilfred Ndidi in the comment section down below, whether you've used him or whether you'd like to use him. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.